Hey everybody, Sam SOHOLT here with Public Land Tees and the SOHOLT Brothers YouTube channel. Today we are talking the all-new outerwear sets from First Lite, and we're talking more specifically about the outerwear sets on the Whitetail side of things. They dropped a whole new series, so this is replacing the Catalyst, the Solitude, and the Sanctuary sets, which have been the staples for a long time in the First Lite Whitetail lineup. I have been incredibly impressed with gear in the past that they have been coming out with, especially that Solitude and the Sanctuary 2.0, high-end windproofing, all the, very good insulation, but they wanted to make all of this gear better, and so they dropped 3 whole new sets. So I'm going to start by talking about the core set, and I will go through that because that has 3 pieces and then it has the same upgrades as everything else in the lineup. It'll save me from having to talk about the same things over and over when I talk about the Phase and the Thermic. So the core, you have a set of bibs, there is a vest, and there is a jacket. Now I'll start with the jacket. So windproofing, the updated face material. So if you have used or tried on or bought any of the Source jacket or vest, you know what that face fabric feels like, and this is the same style of face fabric on the core set. Now that is a difference between all 3 sets, but the core has that real quiet kind of Source jacket style face fabric. Another thing that has been upgraded across the board is the kit link. So if you remember on the older outer garments, the kit link had basically 2 parallel zippers, and it was very easy to accidentally open the kit link and throw your phone in there, or jam something in there that you were trying to get in your pocket and it went to the kit link, or you're trying to get to the kit link and you open the zipper for the pocket. Well, now you do still have a zipper pocket for just a normal pocket, but the kit link is all magnetic. So you have a silent opening magnetic kit link, and as you put your hand in there to go through, it kind of not cinches, but kind of gussets back down around your arm, keeping a little bit more of that heat in if it's cold and you're putting your hands inside, either in your interior pockets or into a muff on the inside of that jacket. Other updates are the zippers. So again, if you have used the Source stuff, kind of went to a similar zipper style. So super quiet zipper, opening and closing. Obviously, we're trying to be as quiet as possible when you're in the whitetail woods. So that makes a big difference. You have a kind of a light lofted fleece on the interior. There are chest pockets on both sides. So if you want to hold something right up here on top on the chest, there is a zipper there and there. Obviously, all 3 jackets and the vest have the pass-through for your tree stand harness. The cuffs on all 3 sets, they have 2 different buttons. So if it's earlier in the season or you're not wearing as many layers, you can close that down on the second button and keep that cuff nice and tight. As you're layering, as it gets later in the season, you can open that up a little bit, gives you a little bit more space so you're not feeling super constricted on the forearms. Yeah, so that is the jacket. The vest, basically the same thing as the jacket without arms. I'm a big vest guy because I like to have as little as possible on my arms and my upper body. So unless it's really cold and I think I need the jacket, I'm typically trying to run bibs and a vest when possible. And that goes with even running like the Phase bib or the Thermic bib, depending on how cold it is. A lot of times I'll go to the windproof vest and then run a Source jacket underneath just to keep a little bit more articulation in my arms, make it easier to draw if I do have a deer show up under my tree stand. The bibs, the pockets open on the front, magnetic opening on the front of the leg, and then they went to the same style as a lot of their pants now, where there is a zip to get into the side of that pocket. So if you are sitting down in your tree stand, easier access to reach into the sides of these pockets and get to things in there. Obviously got to be a little bit careful so you don't leave that open, throw some gloves in there, have them fall out. But yeah, so that is all of the different updates on the core. Again, the kit link, the zippers, the face fabrics are different, but I'll go to the Phase next and talk about that. That is a 2-part system, or 2-piece system rather. So you just have the bibs and the jacket. But the biggest difference you're going to see here, and this would be replacing your Catalyst system, Biggest difference here is going to be the face fabric. So you have a brushed fleece exterior, so obviously super quiet. You have the magnetic kit link system. You have pass-through on the jacket for your tree stand harness. And then another difference is windproofing in this, where the Catalyst did not have windproofing in that soft shell. The Phase does have windproofing. So you can, with proper layering, you can use the Phase gear to get you through a whole lot of your season, even down into super cold temps, because you can put that, you know, once you can block that wind, if you can regulate that temp within along your core using a source vest or a source jacket and get creative with some hand warmer placement, you can get away with the Phase and then keep down on that bulk. Now, the Goldilocks, I would say the one that's going to get you through the more of the season, like kind of across the board, is the core, but it also depends on where you live. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, that is the Phase, all new face material, not very bulky. It's a nice kind of lightweight soft shell, just has that brushed fleece exterior. And finally, the Thermic. So now this is made for super cold temps. Hunted out of this in January, and the night that I shot my deer, it was, I think, about 12 degrees with a pretty good wind. And we were hunting in a ground blind, but even then, like, it was super nice to have the lot of extra insulation. You have a really kind of a high lofted fleece on the inside. You have the same face fabric as what would have been the Catalyst before. Obviously windproof, but super quiet. You have a lofted fleece cuff here, same kit link system to get to the interior if you want to keep your hands warm in a muff. Nice and quiet zippers. And then both the core and the Thermic have pockets on the inside along the, like kind of along your kidney range, so you can throw hand warmers in there. You could throw hand warmers in these pockets or extra gloves or whatever on the inside, just to keep some of that warmth, you know, along the core, keep you warm, keep you in the stand longer. And then the bibs, same thing, super heavy duty insulation, windproofing, and then same pockets, same, all of the same features built into the Thermic as well. So you might be trying to figure out, okay, depending on where I live, what's the best kit for me? If you live further south, I would say Kansas and south, that kind of line across there, I would say the majority of your season, not that it can't get cold in Kansas, in Oklahoma and all of the states, but for the most part, your season, your temp range is not going to vary outside of needing more than something like the Phase. And especially, like I said earlier, with layering underneath the Phase, you can use this in pretty cold temps. I think the coldest I used it in last year was probably in the high 20s, low 30s. I was trying to get a feel for all the different sets and kind of where you could use them. Super impressed with the ability to stay warm in the Phase, even though it is a lightweight soft shell. That windproofing makes a big difference. The core stuff is gonna probably be able to get you through more of your season if you hunt places where it does get down into the, you know, 20s, high teens kind of thing at night, and then into the, you know, 40s in the during the day. If you have a lot of your season where it does that, the core is going to be your jam. And then if you hunt places where it does get very cold, or if you're planning on doing late season hunting, the Thermic is the way to go. I ended up, the last day that I hunted last year, it was 8 degrees, but it was dead calm. And sitting in the blind that night, I never even threw on the jacket because those bibs trap in so much heat. So very impressed with that Thermic stuff. But depending on how much bulk you want to carry, or, you know, how little bulk you want to carry, you kind of have to make up your mind on how much cold you can tolerate. I typically try to wear as little as possible going into the season as it starts to get colder outside, because it forces me to acclimate a little bit faster and be able to tolerate colder temps without wearing as much clothing. So I like being able to move when I'm in the tree stand, especially obviously if there's deer coming in. But that is the all new outer series from First Lite, the Phase, the Core, and the Thermic. If you haven't already, go check it out at firstlite.com, and be sure to catch us on the next video. Thanks.